Ask you a question. How many friends do you have? Answer the question. How many friends do you have? How many friends do you have? I'm not talking necessarily like, my bestie, although but there's scale. You have your besties, you have your friends, not the besties, you have your acquaintances, they're, friends, and then you have your colleagues, and you have people that I guess, you just bump into once in a while. So there's a scale. But I mean, how many friends do you have? And again, I'm not only talking about ride or die. You're setting the bar. That's nice, but you don't need to necessarily have a ride or die. It's nice if you have one, but people that you can go grab a drink with, or just, hey, let's go, I don't know, go see a ball game with, or, you know what I mean? They don't have to be your best friend. How many friends do you have? Like that you contact with, you're, you know, you chit chat with, you get together with once a week, once every other week. Like, how many friends do you have? You're a loser. Okay. So just kidding. No, but I mean, and this, I think, can affect men and women. But by the way, Wellness Week Live. What's up, everybody? This is DJ Anthony. Look, it says it right there. I'm a DJ. So, it's legit. Um, and I'm not giving you medical advice out. So just check with your healthcare professionals. I'm just a DJ. What the hell do I know, right? Hey, by the way, like, subscribe, like I said, because we're getting our ass kicked here, people. Okay. We need to get the numbers up, please. Right. My dog, Rocky, I don't know what he's licking. What are you doing? Anyways, hey, a dog's a man's best friend. A dog's a woman's best friend. By the way, we're going to get into that. Get yourself a dog. I understand you're allergic. You can get almost hypoallergenic dogs. Rocky's a Shih Tzu. He has hair, not fur. So if you have allergies, you could probably tolerate a dog with hair, not fur. Look, he's looking at me. He's like, "What are you talking about me?" Get yourself a turtle. Honestly, make your life about something other than you. Me. I'm miserable. I have no friends. We want to talk about how you can make friends. How to make friends. And you can never have enough. I don't care if you're like, I got too many friends. You can never have too many friends. Stop. Okay. Now, this show pertains to men and women, but particularly men, because statistically speaking, us men, after high school or college, that's it. Boom. We don't make any more friends, and we lose our friends because, who moved away, who got married, has 10 kids, you got, hey, too busy. And now you have no friends. You merch off your wife or your spouse's friends. And that's a no-no. That's nice, but you need to have your own friends. So how to make friends. Okay. Now, if you love being alone and you're like, cool, dude, I love being alone. Like, I don't even want to make friends. You're winning. If you're happy, don't listen to me. Change the channel. You don't need any of this. But if you're down, you're sad, you're depressed, you're struggling in life, and you could be struggling with anything in life, when you have friends, it makes it easier, and it makes it more probable that you're going to get over the hard times. So if you're not happy, and you're not happy that you have no friends, then this show's for you. How to make friends. Now, okay, so let's go through the list. I got a high-tech, verified list here, very scientific, okay? Get on goddamn Post-it note. All right, so I don't know if I should wear the glasses or not, but how to make friends. And friends, we know that people who have friends, especially close friends, and again, doesn't have to be your best friend ever. I think a lot of guys get into this, right? Like, I'm not gonna talk to that douchebag because, hey, they did that. Yeah, those guys are phone. Yeah. Meanwhile, they didn't kill anybody. They just, no one's saying you have to have a bestie. Okay, just someone to grab a drink with. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time for that shit. You got time. Stop. Okay, I run 3 businesses. I'm as busy as the next person. I have family too. Okay, cut it out. Stop. You must, again, if you're not upset and you're not down that you have no friends, cool, then don't listen. But if you'd like to have friends, and it is necessary to have friends, because this is why it's a Wellness Week topic, because when we have friends, we know scientifically and statistically you're healthier, you're happier when you have friends. I'm not saying you have to be with your friends every single second of every single day, but you need to have social connections, friends. Family can be that too, weekly, not once a year. You need to have it weekly. Now, some people need to have interactions with friends more than others. This guy needs to have I need to have interaction with my friends or colleagues or acquaintances. I will be around people a lot more than others, to each his own. But we all need some level of friendship. So, and if you don't have it and you're upset and you're miserable because you have no friends, again, listen. So your health depends on it, honestly. It's that important. Your immune system depends on connections and friends. God made us to be in community and communion with others. We're made to be interaction with others, whether it's something simple, small conversation, going to see a ball game, grabbing a coffee, grabbing a beer, whatever. do it. Even if it's with an acquaintance that you kind of sort of like, but you're not big on, but you don't hate the person. They're okay. Do it. Go out. And of course, your bestie, that's great. Make time, phone call, FaceTime. There's no excuse. Okay. So how to make friends. This is getting serious. Do I look better with the glasses on or off? I think off, right? But I can't see shit. All right. That's what happens when you're pushing 50, baby. All right. So here's how some of the places I've made friends, especially after college, and it's tough, right? Women tend to be better at this stuff, but us men, hey, I ain't calling that guy to get together for coffee. I'm not some sissy. I'm doing that. Women will do that. Women will be like, let's just get together just to talk. God bless. And that's one of the reasons why women live healthier, happier, longer lives. But us men have to do something. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go see the Yankees. All right, I mean, we're gonna. I gotta help this guy fix this alternator in his car. Fine. But where can we find those people to? You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna just roll up on someone and be like, hey, I'm gonna help you with your car. They're gonna look at who the hell are you? So places to meet friends. Now you don't have to be the Pope, but go to church. Not that you're going to be going around in your church or your synagogue or your mosque or your temple saying, who wants to be my friend? But just the fact that you're there, you're going to start to rub shoulders week after week. And I've met some great, great friends post-college from church. I mean, a lot of my friends, my quote unquote newer friends, and it's great. And again, I'm not saying they're my best friends, but it's important, and it's important not only for your health, but for connections for your job, for the wellness, your financial wellness. I mean, God forbid you get laid off or you need help. Having those people, whether it be from church or just from the gym or from wherever you meet, the more connections you have. And I'm not saying make friends for this reason. No, you shouldn't be making friends because you're afraid I might get fired someday. I got to have connections. You shouldn't do that. But it is an ancillary effect. It's a positive effect. When you have connections, you lose your job, or you need to find someone to fix your stairs at your house, or whatever it is. Having those connections really help, especially your own emotional health. It matters. You have a brain, you have a mind, you have emotional health. Yes, even you, tough guy. Okay, so go to church. And again, I'm not the biggest religious person. Trust me. I'm at the back of the church, okay? I'm about to get booted out. But, and I go, if you don't like it, don't go. But if you're like, I'm indifferent, go. You know what I mean? And if you like church, even go. And it's good for your soul. It's good for again, no one's saying you have to be the most religious person. I'm not. But I go to church. And I go because it's good for me, one-on-one with me and the man upstairs. But it's also good horizontally, meaning to meet people. And that's good for our health. It makes you happier when you're like, oh, okay, I'm around a community, a positive community. So go to church, go to synagogue, go to mosque, go to temple, do it, go. Even if it's once a month, go more than just the holidays. You need to do that. Go. I do it. And again, I ain't no saint. Okay. The second one I would say is volunteer. When you make your life more than just about me, my vacation. I'm going on vacation, me, my vacation, me, my shoes, my new cell, my new car, me. Your life is going to be shit, honestly. You're a hamster on a wheel. When you make your life in the service of others, magically, you're happier, you're healthier, you're stronger. You don't get into bad habits. So I'm not saying become Mother Teresa, but what I'm saying is, make your life about serving others. There's a thing called the internet. Get on the goddamn internet, search volunteer opportunities in your neighborhood. This is where church is great too. A lot of volunteer opportunities. Volunteer soup kitchen. Volunteer at the animal shelter. Volunteer online. I'm part of organizations where I talk to people across the country and I help them with their businesses for 15, 20 minutes. I'm not getting paid, but you're connecting with humans. It's important. And you have the altruistic glowing effect, they call it, where, oh, wow, now I feel great about myself because I'm helping others and you feel awesome. And that's important. But you're also helping others. So again, getting out virtually, but getting out, preferably physically. Okay. Get out. Yeah, get out. How about that one? That's a novelty. Get up, walk. It's free. You don't have to join a gym. That's another one, gym. But you can get up and walk. Walk outside. You might bump into somebody. Hey, how you doing? And you keep on bumping into, or stop on your walk. Go to the cafe. grab a bagel, grab a coffee. You're going to start to bump into people. Get out, physically get out, even if it's just to walk, get out. There's one, cafe. I make sure that I go to the cafe once a day. I make sure I go out once a day to the local cafe or local Starbucks. And you know what happens? You start to bump into people. Oh, hey, what's up? But, like, you just get to know certain people, certain baristas or certain customers that you bump into, and you make friends. I'm not going to say they're best friends, but you need to be around people. It's important for your health. Okay. And your mind health. Okay. So the other one was gym. Join a gym. Now, again, it's not like they're going to be embracing you, hugging you like, oh my God, you're here. but gyms are great places. They're positive places. They're, it's better than being associated with a negative, like you go into a bar and bars are about alcohol. Although bars can be a good thing because you're around people, but you got to be careful with the alcohol component of that because it is a drug. But gyms are great, positive places. I bump into the same person all the time at the treadmill, and it's like eventually like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And then down the road you start to make conversations with this person, that person. So it matters. And also you're doing something great for yourself. You're getting out. And don't tell me you don't have the money for a gym. You have money for hanging out with the boys. You have money for hanging out with the girls. You have money for how many shoes? You got money for the gym. The gyms are cheap nowadays. All right. Apps. Yeah, get on the apps. I mean, you have apps that are either apps or Facebook that have a friend option or just looking to play pickleball with people, whatever. I know it's a little uncomfortable because it's like, my friends, I should just make friends naturally. They should just fall from the sky. But, you kind of have to push a little bit. I mean, the bird can't fly unless it spreads its wings. I mean, you got to do a little effort. So apps are great. You can just, again, search for apps to make friends or apps to connect with business or whatever, going to races, join a 5K. If you're not super athletic, you can do a fun walk. Get out, just get out. And it's a great thing you're doing. You can even bring an acquaintance with you, or if you want to go by yourself. And I know going out by yourself kind of sucks. I do that too sometimes. I'm a single person. I'm out there and, sometimes I have to force myself to be like, all right, let me go out. Let me do this race. So let me go out, to dinner alone. Like, and it's not poor me. It's just like, well, I could call this friend the rat friend, but I'm like, you know what? I'll just go out by myself. At least I'm getting out and I'm meeting people, so it's great. And I find when I go out by myself, I'm much more friendly and people are much more friendly to me because they see I'm by myself. They almost feel bad for me, which is great. So they'll be like, oh, wow, that food looks great. I'm like, yeah, it is, And so you don't know where those things go. And it's a great thing, actually. So the irony is, you might not feel comfortable being alone, going out to dinner alone or lunch alone or breakfast alone, but that's where the opportunities are. People actually roll up on you or just are more friendly to you because you're by yourself. When you're in a group, it's almost like you're more intimidating to people because you're in a group or a couple. One-on-one, people are not as apprehensive about making contact with you or just saying like, hey, have a good day, whatever. Again, getting out, hit the cafes, hit the diners, talk to the waiters, the waitresses. So libraries are great. I'm not saying go to the library to read, although that's great, but that's a very solitude type of thing. But look at your local library's website or libraries around you. They always have public speaking sessions or informative lessons, things that you can join for free. Again, doesn't take any money, so why not? And again, you can grab maybe one of your acquaintances or friends. Hey, let's go together, and you make new friends. You know what I'm saying? So you want to stack that friendship level higher and higher. If you have 5 friends, why not, go for 7 friends, because your 5 friends are not always going to be there for you at the same time. You know what I mean? Who's busy, who's on vacation, who's sick, who has to take care of their grandmother. You know what I mean? So, but again, this is all predicated on, you feeling like I ain't got no friends. So stop bitching and complaining and get on it. All right. The other thing is, reach out to friends. Reach out to the acquaintances you have. Just say, hey man, happy birthday, text happy birthday or, happy Hanukkah, whatever it is. And those small connections lead to places eventually, stay in contact. Don't be the assholes like, well, they didn't say happy birthday to me, so fuck them. I'm not going to say happy birthday to them. That's why you have no friends. Don't be small. Be bigger than that. Okay. So that's their problem if they're not saying happy birthday to you, but you can say happy birthday to them, and again, that's good for you. You did a good thing. Don't be a baby. I would say Facebook groups are good too. I'm part of a ton of Facebook groups, and not all of them bear any kind of social fruit, but some do. And it's like, oh wow, they're doing that thing, at the cafe. That's by me. Shit, I'll walk by. Walk by, see that it's not crazy people. Cool. I'm gonna walk in. Hey, what's up, everybody? Whatever. Like you don't have to be running for mayor, but you gotta put a little effort in there, my guy, my girl. I would say also host something at your apartment or your house. Like, yeah, just get your quote unquote friends and ask them to bring a friend, and then you'll make more friends. So, or acquaintances. Again, they don't have to be a best friend. I host a lot of stuff at my house, and most of the time they're not even my best friends. They're just people that I like that we're not close. Maybe we'll be close, maybe we won't. But it lifts the spirit. It's good for you. So the last thing I would say is get yourself a dog, get yourself a cat, get yourself a fish, get yourself a turtle, get yourself a bird, get yourself an animal. Now, it's not the same exact thing as a human, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's, especially a dog or a cat. I mean, there's hundreds of scientific studies that say people with dogs and cats and pets fare better in life, happier, healthier, stronger, immune systems, everything, because you have something to look forward to, something to take care of, something to interact with. And the ultimate is a human friend. But dogs are great. I got my dog Rocky. He's 10-pound Shih Tzu. He's a pain in the ass. Okay, I hope he didn't hear that, but he probably thinks I'm a pain in the ass. But yeah, it matters. You know what I mean? So those things matter. And my pastor at my church always says, your husband or your wife, if you're married, your spouse cannot be your soulmate. Whoa. Well, I might have to modify that. Maybe your spouse is your soulmate, but you need to have another soulmate outside of your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, because your boyfriend, girlfriend, especially if it's a good relationship, more than likely conflict of interest. You know what I mean? Like they're typically going to side with you because they love you. They're on your team. You know what I mean? Very rarely. And if they're shitting on you, that's probably a bad relationship. So you do want to have a friend or quote unquote soulmate who's not a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend. But yeah, so having a pet is important, going back to that. So anyways, I hope these tips help. I know they help me, and I'm somebody who has a lot of friends, and I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have a lot of colleagues, but you can never have enough. I mean, it's like air, you know what I mean? It's the lifeblood. When you have family and friends, you have everything. You have everything. It's more important than your health, actually. The irony is it improves your health. I'll tell a quick story. I used to volunteer at this hospital, and that's another thing. Volunteer. Go to the hospital, volunteer. But I mean, and you make friends there too. So I volunteered at the hospital, and part of my job was to admit and discharge patients in and out of the hospital. Like wheelchair them in, wheelchair them out. So one day I got a call. Okay, got to go to room 203, and whatever, discharge Mrs. Smith. So I'll get the wheelchair, and my job was to push them out to the outside of the hospital where your family or friends or Uber or whatever is awaiting them to take them out of the hospital. So I go to the room, get Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Smith is like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to go home. This is so great. I got my friends and family," as I'm pushing her in the wheelchair, and she's like in her whatever 70s. And I said, "Oh, that's great. I'm good. I'm happy for you, Mrs. Smith. Enjoy your day." And as I'm pushing her out, she's like, "Yeah, the doctor gave me 6 months to live. I got type of cancer that's very aggressive, but I just can't wait to go home to my friends and family, and this is going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great." Behind her, I'm thinking like, what? Like she can't see my face because I'm pushing her, but I'm just like, this woman just told me she's going to die soon, and you wouldn't know it. She's like happy because she's got family and friends waiting for her. As I'm pushing her, I see them. The family and friends are waiting for her at the car to take her home. And, but like she was so happy. You would never know that she had this terminal cancer. Okay. Hour later, I get a call. Okay, go to room 721. You got to take Mr. Johnson out of the room, and he's discharging. So I take Mr. Johnson out, and he's like in his 30s, and I'm pushing him down, the ramp and to his outside spot. And I'm like, we started to talk, and he says to me as I'm pushing him, I'm behind him, he's like, "Oh, I'm really going to miss this place." I'm like, what? Who the hell misses the hospital, right? I'm thinking. I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Okay." And then he said, "Yeah, I'm really going to miss this place." I don't know what's that rattling. I don't know. Anyways, he goes, I'm really good at, there's like a rattling going on outside my studio here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. So take two. So I'm pushing Mr. Johnson out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm really gonna miss this place, the hospital." So I'm like, "What?" And he says, "Yeah, I just made a lot of met a lot of nice people here." And so he's telling me, he further tells me, he's like, "I had a heart operation." And I said, "Oh, okay. I hope everything's okay." He's like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. I'm healthy. I got a clean bill of health, and I can go on about my life." I'm like, "Oh wow, that's great, Mr. Johnson." And but he looked very sad, and he's like, "Yeah," like, and he goes, "I am really gonna miss this place." And I said, "Oh, okay." He's like, and I go outside with him. I'm like, "Is there a car waiting for you? Who should I be looking for?" He's like, "I don't have anyone." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't have anyone. I don't have any family or any close friends. I'm just waiting for the taxi." And I was like, "Oh." And he looked, very sad. And I was like, "All right." I waited for him, and his taxi came, and he left. And that made such an impression on me. Those two patients. The patient who left Mr. Johnson with the heart operation, he's healthy, clean bill of health, being discharged. You thought he had the terminal cancer. And the woman who had the terminal cancer, you thought she had the clean bill of health. Why? Because one person, Mrs. Smith, the woman, had friends and family waiting for her. And the other person who was healthy and the operation went well, he's going home, clean bill of health, had no one in his life, or close to no one waiting for him. And he said he missed the hospital. He didn't want to leave the hospital. And that shows you how important friends and family are. It's more important than your health, because we're all going to die, right? But wow, like if you don't have people in your life, it's almost like a death sentence. I mean, it just like showed me such a glaring lesson about how important friendship is. And again, it doesn't have to be your best friends, but how important family is. And it doesn't have to be your closest family, but how important friends and family are. And the woman who had the death sentence coming up in 6 months approximately was joyous and happy. And the man who had a clean bill of health and was free to go was miserable and looked like and sounded like death. The irony of life, right? So, but that's how important friendship is. And if we don't have friends and family, it affects our health directly. That's a scientific fact. You can go look that up on your own. You don't believe me. But anyways, this doesn't have to be like this for you. You can find friends. And by the way, don't prejudge. You may say, well, I don't want to be friends with that person, or I would never be friends with that person. That person is probably not really good for me to be a friend with. Well, how do you know that? Well, I'm a Catholic and they're Muslim. Yes, so what? Well, they're different than me. Okay. So, by the way, you're being presumptuous to say they're different than you. You don't know that. Just because they're black and you're white, or they're Chinese and you're Irish, or they're rich and you're poor, or they're, they're Muslim and you're Catholic, that doesn't mean you're different. If you take the time to say hello or just be somewhat friendly, you'll find out you have more in common than different. Someone being a Jew and you being a Christian doesn't mean that you're different. You have a different religion, but you'll be surprised. You're like, oh, wow, like I have a lot in common with that person. The only thing that we have different is our religion. And even that, I kind of agree with a lot of their religious beliefs, although I'm not their religion. Life is very odd. You may make a friend who's gay and you're straight. Doesn't what? I've met a lot of people who I am friends with who are gay, or uh, who are different religion or different culture, or different economic class. And I was always like thinking, well, I would never have much in common with them. I'm like, what? We like the same ice cream. We like the same movies. We like the same athletics. We have the same sarcastic sense of humor. But I thought we were different. You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. So I would say to you, oh, well, I'm a jock, but they're a nerd. Yes, so? You don't know that nerd's not a jock. It doesn't like sports. You again, we prejudge so quickly, you know. give a person a chance. Give them a chance to fail. How about that? And then you can be like, okay, I don't want to talk to them, or I don't want to be friends with them. But you don't know that by just what you've heard. Oh, I heard they're this. That person sleeps around. I'm not going to be friends with them. Because I am a good Christian. Well, you don't know that they sleep around. You've heard. It's hearsay. And even if they did, who are you? You're perfect. Who am I? Am I perfect? Oh, they smoke and drink. Okay, they smoke and drink. So I don't have to smoke and drink. I can go out with them and we can go to Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, give a person a chance because again, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Who the hell are you? And then fair enough. If you do wind up talking, you're like, yeah, you know what? Nice person, but we really don't line up, all that good. Oh, fair enough. At least you tried. You know what I'm saying? And no one's saying you have to go on vacation together, but be open to, hey, what's going on? Or, I'm inviting you out, with my other friends for pizza. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So it takes a little bit of a gamble. It takes a little bit of a risk. It takes a little bit of uncomfortability. But what's the worst that's going to happen? You're not going to die. No one's going to lock you up because you tried to be friends with somebody. And I'm not saying be weird and overt, like, hey, buddy, let's be friends. Like, that's fucking strange. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, normal stuff. Like, you just, hey, what's going on? Like, as you're passing by. And eventually the, hey, what's going on? Week after week, month after month turns into something where you're like, you just strike up a conversation, or you accept the invitation to go to the party where you don't really know anybody. All right, so go for like an hour and be like, listen, I got to bounce, or maybe I don't want to bounce. Holy shit, this party's amazing. I'm meeting a lot of good people, or, you know what I mean? So it takes a little bit of miniature bravery, I'll call it, to do these things. And anyways, I know it served me very well in my life and it still does. But nothing is going to happen for you if you stay at home. And by the way, your social media friends, they're not your friend. Those are not friends. Friends are, hey, I talked to this person in Mongolia and I talked to this person in Alaska and I live in the city. That's nice, but it's better than nothing, but that's not friends. I'm talking about friends like face to face, going out, shaking hands, hugging. Like I see your face, you're 10 inches away from me. That's what I'm talking about when I say friends. You know what I mean? And your friends that are far away that you do have, don't take that for granted. Reach out. Costs nothing to make a phone call. Costs nothing to make a text. Costs nothing or very little to send a card. It's like a plant friendship. If you don't nurture it or keep up with it, it doesn't have to be exhausting. But if you don't keep up with it, hey, let's get together, every so often. If they're too far, then a phone call, FaceTime, a birthday card, a birthday. If you don't do that, then you're going to lose that. And that goes for anything, right? Again, life, friendships is like plants, crops. You have to take care of it, and again, I'm not saying you have to put 10 hours a day into it, but you have to be aware, hey, this thing could dissipate and go away. You don't want that, and so anyways, yeah, and don't be petty. That person said this to me in 1985. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's not the reason. Wow, now you're not going to talk to them? You're not going to be friends with them? Come on, stop. You know what I mean? Anyways, I want the best for you. You deserve the best. You deserve health and happiness, and it's there for you to have. You just have to make a little bit of effort. If you fail, it doesn't work out, pick yourself back up, try again with somebody different or something different or some other different situation, okay? We all need friends. I need friends. You need friends. You deserve the best, okay? And don't forget, check out betterhelp.com or talkspace.com. These are apps that you can get therapy on. I am a big fan of therapy because if you have a brain, you have a mind, and mind is mind health. We all need to talk to somebody. I understand you have your best friend, your husband, your wife, but we need a professional, and you have money for it. Don't tell me you don't. It's great. I talk about my stressors. I talk about my business. I talk about things that are affecting me in my life with my therapist. And, I go like maybe once a month, twice a month, whatever I want, whenever I need. And it's right on your phone. You can do FaceTime, you can do text, you can do phone call, betterhelp.com, talkspace.com. There's a bunch of other ones there, but winners have therapists. Winners have life coaches. Winners have people that they can talk to. That's what winners do. So, and you're a winner. I know it. So I believe in you. You can do it. You deserve the best. It's there for you. The best is yet to come. I'm out here, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want it in Italian? Ciao, tutti genti. Ci vediamo. 4, 3, no, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ciao, ciao.